Okay, it's 6:30. We're going to go ahead and call the work session to order. For those of you here tonight, maybe for your first time, we have two meetings tonight. We'll have the work session first, and then we'll have the city council meeting after we finish the work session. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Municipal Services Committee Chairman Ed Long.
Thank you, Mayor. The first thing on the agenda tonight is the city calendar. It is one of the things that I broached at last meeting to throw some ideas out there to be discussed. So, Mayor, you're on here as the presenter, please.
Yes, sir. Council, Ed and I talked today. If you look at January, we have no one to be sworn in this year because it's not election year. New Year's Day is on Monday. So we were talking about, we talked about just doing one meeting on several months during the year. That may make sense. I think Monday's one of those, whether we meet just once, Monday, January 16th, or the next Monday, the 22nd. 16th on a Tuesday. So we can do it Tuesday or the next Monday. If you all are okay with that, or we can meet twice. We can meet the 8th and the 22nd. And of course, I didn't put it on there because I didn't know what y'all want to do. So, so we can do one meeting in January, or we can do two.
I'm down for the 16th.
Okay. I think it's a good idea to do that. I think if anything comes up where we need to meet, we can always call a special meeting. That's no big deal on that. It wouldn't be anything to do with anything on a special meeting other than some of these bond issue things, more than likely anyway.
Correct.
But I think having one meeting in January is a good idea. And I think you want to go ahead and discuss the others that we talked about and then handle it all at the same time?
Yes, the next one would be just meeting on Monday the 12th of February. Since that'll be middle of the month, it gives a month from the prior meeting, and February short, which gets us to March 4th, so that kind of makes sense. And then we'll go back to two meetings after that until we get to July.
In July, you had proposed, and I agreed with it, having one meeting in July, and that be our middle of the month meeting, correct?
July 15th. And then August, that's always CDI week. I don't know when it falls this year. Sometimes it's July 31st.
Yeah, it'll all be that first week in August. And, you and I talked about just having one meeting in August and make it the middle of the month meeting then as well. Mm-hmm. So we're looking at changing four of them, January, February, July, and August. Ben, I hope you're taking notes on this because I've already got myself lost.
Ben and I talked about this too, so I think he's with us. So you think Tuesday, January 16th, Monday, February 12th, then March 4th, March 18th, and then April 1st, April 15th, and then May 6th, May 20th, then June 3rd, June 17th, then July 15th, August 19th, and then September, we didn't talk about Labor Days on Monday, September 2nd. So we want to do the same thing for September?
Well, and that's the start of school and everything. I propose we just have the middle of the month meeting in September.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Monday, September 16th, then October's good for us. November, I think, is fine, and December's fine.
Everything else looks okay.
And then we'll have swearing-ins, so we may have to adjust the January 6th date to something else or something.
Well, New Year's in 25 is on Wednesday, so that's that won't need to be adjusted on that. That's got to be a swearing in and ordinance 1 and all of that on that date. So, okay, you want to run over those again, please, sir?
Okay, so starting at the top, I would say the revised calendar, if you're okay with it, is Tuesday, January 16th, 2024, then Monday, February 12th, and then Monday, March 4th, Monday, March 18th, Monday, April 1st, Monday, April 15th, Monday, April 6th, Monday, April 20th, June 3rd, June 17th, then July 15th, August 19th, September 16th, then October 7th, October 21st, November 4th, November 18th, December 2nd, December 16th.
Sounds good to me. Anybody got any questions, comments, concerns on that? It's a pretty good calendar. It frees up a couple of months in the middle of the year where that people maybe can do a little bit better with vacations and those kinds of things than we did this past year. I know that we stepped on a couple of vacations and a couple of family reunions and things this past year, so maybe we can far enough ahead this time to let people plan. Anybody got any comments? James, Matt, Stephen, anybody? Brandon? I'm not going to worry about you anymore. You drive 24 hours a day, 7 days a week anyway, seems like. I knew you wasn't going to be here tonight. I just knew it. Anybody? Ron? Corey?
I'm good.
Then I need a motion.
Motion to send to full council?
Second.
I got a motion. Well, we're not going to send this to full council. We just need to do a motion on it. Or do you want to reduce it to a resolution?
Yes, sir. Now that we have it set, I will prepare it to a resolution
And deal with it on the 18th?
Get it to you next time. Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Okay, we got a motion then to convert this to a resolution and make it official. Got a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Got a motion, second. Tammy,
Point of order.
please.
Point of order.
Yes.
Maggie's on here. Maggie, you have any?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, sir, I'm good.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Maggie, did any of that interfere with any of the school stuff that you know about now? I wanted to work around that, and I flat forgot that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Not now. I mean, we'll just have to see when we get there with the coaching and all that. But
Okay.
it'll be fine.
Okay, thank you. All right, I got a motion, second. Tammy?
Long,
Yes.
Hillenberg,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Ben, thank you. You'll have that for next meeting, correct? Thank you, sir. Our next item is a resolution approving the issuance of a special use permit for Lot 15, Gateway Commercial. Laura, and I saw Tim come in too. Tim, you want to join her up here, please? Council, if you'll remember, this is the thing that we talked about last month. It was a item over at Gateway where that we had been requested to do a spot zoning, I'm going to call it. Somebody probably throw a rock at me. Pulling out a lot out of a C2 and making it I1. We think we've come up with a better way to skin that cat. We're going to allow, if y'all pass this, we will allow storage buildings in C2s with a special use permit, C2s and C3s, Laura, with a special use permit. Tim made a comment at the Planning Commission that I think is correct. It'll give the planning commissioners more latitude than what they've got now to look at these and evaluate them, and we just think it's a better way to do it. The I-1 regulation that's in our code now will stay. If anything's in I-1, it's going to be automatic. It's basically no review. If it is, it is. But if it's a C2 or C3, it will fall under special use permit, which will give the Planning Commission more opportunity to review. Laura?
I don't know how much more you want me to add to that. Absolutely. So for this piece of property, it is on Gateway Commercial, and they are proposing for boat and RV storage. It is currently in a C2 zoning, so they are asking for a special use permit to be able to have this facility in the C2 zoning that it's currently at, instead of, as we previously had talked about, rezoning it to I1, so it would not be a spot zoning. Again, you've explained it, Mr. Long, very well. We will have a proposal later on as far as changing the UDC to allow for C2 and C3 for a special use permit for self-storage to go into, and then outright in industrial I1. So that way the Planning Commission can do on a case-by-case basis for each parcel within the city as somebody proposes for self-storage on them. If you have any other questions, particularly on this particular item, I can address them, or Mr. Lemons can answer any questions that you may have.
Laura, if you would, just hang in there. Tim, you got anything to say about this?
You and Ms. Nobles have done an excellent job. I'm going to go sit down.
No, you're not. Stay right
Okay.
there. This was brought up at our last council meeting. It was brought up for us to do it as an I-1. There was quite a bit of discussion around the council table, and Tim and his client graciously pulled it down so that we could see if there was a better way to skin this cat, and we've come up with that. Now, I'm saying that to say this. It is on our agenda tonight. The city council will have to act as its own planning commission tonight and approve this, which was the things that we discussed with Tim last time. The project has not changed. They've had two, basically, public hearings on it in the planning commission. It's been heard here twice. It's been advertised well. So I don't have any objections with doing that. We will need to pass the UDC first, and then this item will come to us, and then we'll need to pass that if it's the council's will to do that. So you will see it on the council agenda here in a few minutes, and that's the reason for that. Am I right? Did I explain that good enough for y'all?
Absolutely.
All right. Anybody got any questions on either thing that I've talked about?
I would like to, for the record, add that if it's a special use permit and the property changes and it's not used for that, then it goes back to its original C2 and it no longer carries that.
Yes, the special use is specifically for the self-storage only. So they would have, on this piece of property, or whatever piece of property comes for the special use, it is only tied to that piece of property.
And as I said last meeting, I'm the one that said that last meeting. I'm uncomfortable with doing these blocks of I-1s in the middle of C2s around and everything. We end up, because once we zone that, it's zoned. And there you go. And anything then that will go in an I-1 can go there. And I was uncomfortable with that, extremely uncomfortable with it.
You could essentially have chicken rendering plants, little ones
Yeah,
all over
absolutely.
town.
Yeah. This, I think, is a better way. I just like this idea. Tim, again, I told you last meeting, I appreciate y'all working with us and pulling that down so that we could go back and look at it. I think this is a good thing. I'm anxious to hear what the council's got to say, and I'm opening it up for questions. Anybody? If not, I'll take a motion.
Motion to send to full council.
Have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Got a motion, second. Tammy, please.
Long,
Yes.
Hillenberg,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
All right, thanks, guys. Tim, thank you. Laura, thank you. Our next one is another mayor. Mayor, you've got an appointment to the Parks and Rec Commission.
Yes, sir. This appointment is Mr. Chad Morrow. He's with us tonight, sitting on the front row. This was brought to us by the Parks and Rec Commission. His bio was in the packet, and he's here to say hello and that he'd like to be on the Parks and Rec Commission, here for any questions. Also, Chairman Sled and Director Travis Young are here too if you need to speak with any of them.
Travis, you or Greg got anything to say? Chad, you want to say anything, sir?
Good evening. My name is Chad Morrow. My wife and I have 3 children, age 11, 9, and 6. All 3 have been part of Cabot Parks and Rec in some capacity. I've served as a coach, assistant coach, over the past 6-7 years. I enjoy coaching. It's a passion of mine. And I always tell my kids that, it's not about winning or losing for me. It's about development and teaching them how to persevere. When it's a bad call, are we going to whine about it? No, we're going to figure out a way to win as a team. And so that's something I enjoy doing. As far as kind of what I do personally, I own a medical supply company in Conway called Baker Medical. I've been doing that for almost 15 years now. And it's, we handle CPAPs, so that's kind of our bread and butter. But yeah, I'm looking forward to serving. And so if you have any questions or concerns, I'm here.
Anybody got any questions, comments, concerns, Chad? Then I need a motion.
Make a motion to send recommendation for approving Chad Moreau to the Parks and Rec Commission.
Second?
I got a motion and second. Tammy, please.
Long,
Yes.
Hillenberg,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Chad, thank you. We will deal with that at our meeting here that will follow this. Tonight, you will see yours come up tonight. So
Thank
if
you
you
very
want
much.
to stay, have a seat, please. Mayor, thank you, sir. That concludes mine.
Okay, any comments from the public, we will leave to the end after we went through all committees. Our next committee is the Budget and Personnel Committee. Chairman Stephen Redd.
Mayor, we've got a resolution to adopt the annual operating budget for calendar year '24, presented by yourself. So if it's okay with the council, I'd like to call up each of the department heads, let them kind of go through theirs, and then any comments, council, we can do after that candidate, or after that department head comes up, okay?
Yes, sir.
So the first one I'd like to call up is Mr. Matthew Hood.
Good evening, City Council. I'm going first since in charge of the salaries and benefits, which stretch across all departments. The government, Social Security, came out with the COLA this year at 3.2%. So what we're doing in our budget is doing the 3.2% or the $2,000, whichever is more, which is something we've done in the past, trying to raise our bottom line for some of those who aren't making as much. Also baked into this is a project we've been working on for about a year, one for police and fire, which is to get them to appropriate ranges whenever they promote. In the past, it's just been a little flat amount and really hasn't put them where they need to be. So we worked closely with a third party, both chiefs. They're happy with it. Likewise, on the non-uniform side, getting everyone put into grades. So again, we can appropriately place people where they need to be, put them in the right market value, that sort of thing. As far as benefits go, I want to take a second to brag on the city, our leadership here. The year before last, it was 2021. We got a 10% increase. It was a little less than $100,000, and so looking at the numbers, we realized that the old insurance plan we had, it wasn't very sustainable. We felt like over the next 3, 4, 5 years, we're going to continue to get those 10% increases. And so had we not made a change, we were looking at another 10% last year, which would have been roughly another $100,000. And instead, we worked with the Municipal League, JTS, Charles Angel, who lives here in Cabot, and we piloted the high deductible plan, which is what a lot of private insurers have. It was a big success. It saved us from an increase. We actually got a huge decrease, which we were able to use for the employees in their HSA accounts. I'm actually on the Municipal League Health Board, one of 5 people, and I can tell you now, unless you're at a flat 100%, you're getting those 10% increases, which can be $100,000, $120,000, $130,000. So we've avoided that, and now that plan's offered throughout the state. There's many cities switching to it. I won't say their name, but one major city our size has switched, and they're saving over $500,000 by doing so. So proud that we were able to push that through. The only thing on the insurance, no matter what plan you had, no matter who you are, there was a small dental increase because they added some extra benefits to that. That came out to about $25,000 to $30,000, and that's baked into that as well. And then finally, with workers' comp, a few years ago, we saw a chance to go to the private industry instead of the Municipal League, and we were able to save about $10,000 or $15,000, and it was great. But as time goes on, just the cost of doing business, injuries, that 3 or 4 years ago would have ran us about $30,000, $40,000 against our premium. They're costing $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 now, and it's there's just nothing we can do about it. So we are going back to Municipal League, but even going back to them at their lower rate to get us back, it was still about $40,000 increase for us with workers' comp, and that's something that probably over the next few years may continue to go up a little bit until we can kind of even out. So. Other than that, we didn't really add too many positions. Fire, we added the last rover position, so they'll have one extra spot for A, B, and C shift. And then In our street department, we added another mechanic job because we've had the same mechanic for 20 years, and those just don't grow on trees, and he's a little stretched out, so we wanted to make sure we had the appropriate man hours there taken care of. So it's kind of everything in a nutshell for you. It's all there. If anyone has any questions, I'll go into as much detail as you want. So I'll turn it back over to you.
Council, Ms. Maggie, y'all got any questions for Matthew?
Maggie, you have any questions for Matthew?
If she does, I can come back up.
You're good, Matthew. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Next up, Mr. IT himself, Mr. Roger.
Hey, good evening, Council. Get to follow up Matthew's very verbose presentation with not a lot to have next year for us. It's a pretty tame year for IT budget this coming year. Really, the biggest project we got going on monetarily next year is we've got a lot of upgrades we have to do for our PC inventory across the city. I usually try to spread that out in thirds. We've got about roughly a third of our fleet set to be repaired or replaced next year. So that's about all. I mean, in drastic changes for us, most of it's pretty across the board flat.
Council, any questions for Roger? Ms. Maggie, any questions?
I've got one question.
Yes, sir.
Is there enough in your appropriation for security of our IT system?
Yes, I mean, so we did make some adjustment this year. That is one of the projects next year is upgrading our antivirus type solution and everything for the city. It wasn't very monetarily expensive, so I didn't really throw it in as a project, but that will be upgraded next year. Also, this year, in this existing budget, we just upgraded all of our backup solution, and we implemented a disaster recovery solution for the city, which basically replicates all of our server environment out to a site that's off-site. So in the event of a disaster, we are able to spin those up and reconnect and get everybody working until we can get everything back in line here. So that's an adjustment for next year because those services have ongoing costs. But yes, we do have that budgeted in as well.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Roger.
Thank you.
Next up, the man that we still don't know how he does it all, Mr. Mike Wheeler, that has about 10 hats, I believe. So, Mr. Wheeler.
Thank you. I'll just go one at a time if that's okay. We'll start with construction services. All three of the budgets are pretty much, we budgeted flat, just some increase for cost of goods with the new cost. The only thing in construction services, we had $10,000 last year for a used pickup truck. Obviously, used pickup trucks for $10,000 don't exist, so we didn't spend it. This year, we bumped that to $20,000, and that's the big one on. Other than that, we budgeted flat. Any questions on construction services? Okay. So if we go to the Peak Center, our senior center, senior or adult, active adult center, budgeted cost of goods for, obviously food goods have gone up a little bit. But we've kept it same as last year. Well, I think with our current cost, we'll be able to be fine. The only other increase in cost on that is a small kitchen remodel. With the number of folks we have coming through and our number of meals we serve, for more variety, all we're doing is cooking on a 6-burner gas stove and a commercial oven. We're going to add a couple fryers and a flat top. So any questions on the Peak Center?
Chairman, I have one quick question. I don't want to pull any of your thunder for your yearly report, but how many people are you servicing over there an average a week?
Average week, we were averaging about 68 a day. For our Thanksgiving meal, we served 116.
So about 350 a week is what you're
Yeah.
running through there, thereabouts?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right. Any other questions on Peak Center? All right, on animal services, the one big difference in this year and last year that you're going to see is our money coming in and going out. We all know we're building a new animal support service center. We've been collecting donations and getting grants to help with surgical side and other equipment. So that's been in our donation account. So this year you're seeing we're going to pull a couple $250,000 out of the donation account, put it in general fund so that we can expend it out and buy this equipment as we're building the new facility. So you'll see that's a big revenue, but also expense. It's just coming out of our donation account where it's been sitting, waiting on us to spend it. Any further questions on that one?
Kind of off subject, where was your last trip to for Cabot Animal Services?
My last trip for Cabot Animal Services was Australia. Yes, sir.
Outstanding.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Questions for Mr. Wheeler, council?
For the record, that was not paid for by the city.
Oh, yes.
That was paid for by an organization that asked him to speak as the only American presenter at the convention, which is a pretty awesome deal.
Yes.
So all you taxpayers out there watching, city did not pay for Australia.
100%. I was invited as the representative of the city by 3 organizations in Australia, and they paid airfare, room, board, everything. So.
Chairman, I do have one question. Is Lyon College working with us on any of the future or the uses of those buildings as a partnership?
We currently have an MOU with Lyon College to where we are still in negotiations and working toward what we're going to provide them and what they're going to provide us in the future. But there is a partnership between us where our veterinary side and their veterinary school will work together in the full capacity. We haven't worked all that out yet, but we are the only partner with an MOU at the current moment.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any further questions, comments?
It was well annotated, so thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Stephen, Mike and I visited this afternoon, and I'm fine with his budget if y'all are fine with it.
Absolutely. Next up, Chief Moore.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Fire Department budget overall is flat to last year with a couple notable exceptions of our radio line item and our technology line. And a lot of the stuff that we have budgeted for this year, specifically for radios, I'm pushing most of that to next year, so that's why there's a little more increase there. As you know, in about 13 months, we're prepping to open up our PSAP here, and we're needing to do some extensive radio upgrades to get in line and be compliant. I'd be glad to answer any questions you may have on any other items there.
Council, Ms. Maggie, council, any questions for Chief Moore?
None from me.
Just a quick comment. I like the fact that they actually annotate decreases. You don't see that in too many areas. I mean, I appreciate the comments listed next to, especially police and fire, animal services, the commentaries in the margin explaining either increase, no change, whatnot. So when I saw decrease, I was like,
Those are always good, right?
No further questions. Thank you, Chief Moore.
All right, thank y'all.
Next up, Mr. Police Department. For all of you that are listening, Chief Steely is actually out this week. Actually went over with each and every one of us, to my knowledge of everything going on. Officer Lucas is here to address any questions. It is Lucas, right?
Yes, it's my understanding Chief has spoken to most of y'all, but I'm here to try to answer any questions that y'all may have in regards to any of the line item changes.
Again, the detail to the right with the comments are pretty cool. Questions, comments?
I would like to make a comment. We do see in the line items the 911 expense, and I think that's the future where we'll have the emergency response center for the county centered here. And that's in there to cover costs that we don't anticipate.
Pretty much a flat.
It is. Mr. Long? Okay. Any other council? Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Next up, Mr. Ben Hooper himself.
Good evening. You'll see that mine is fairly straightforward. If you would take a look at around the middle, recodification and Municode, you'll see a substantial decrease in that. That is because Municode, as well as everybody else in the world, is going to a subscription-based model. Previously, we had paid, that is codification for all the ordinances and resolutions and everything we pass. So it gets posted online so the public can see it, and so it's out there for everybody. Before, we would pay by the piece of legislation. They are now going to a subscription-based model. In theory, it will be good for larger cities like us. As you can see, last time we had budgeted almost $14,000. It's kind of a moving target, I guess, but we were able to decrease that to the cost of the subscription. That is all in theory. Both myself and my wonderful paralegal Jessica spend a substantial amount of time just wrangling with Municode over issues. But in theory, this will work out for us. So that is the reason for that decrease. Kind of along with that, there's a small increase for legal publications. That is the cost to publish all these ordinances and resolutions that we do in the paper. That is a legal requirement. It's kind of a guess. It's a moving target. We don't know how much we're going to do every year. I'm sure you have been paying attention. We've done more this year than last year, more last year than the year before, which is a good thing. We're growing. You guys are passing a lot of legislation. There's a lot of projects in the community. As we get busy and as we grow, that number goes up. So it's gone up, but it's a good thing. It reflects all the growth that's happening in Cabot. Other than that, it's fairly straightforward. I'm happy to answer any questions.
I have a quick question. Ben, I want to target on Municode.
Yes, sir.
Codification has always been a monkey on our back. Are they working pretty well now? Is things as smooth as you expect it to be, or could it be better? It always could be better.
It could be better. We have actually just last week, we had a long conversation with Municode. We are hopeful that this new subscription model is going to work out. And there was some misunderstandings on their end. We think we had those ironed out. So it is going okay. There's room for improvement, but it is going okay. I'll be frank with you, just because I thought we needed to. We looked around for replacements just to see, because at one point they had me aggravated enough I was wanting to replace them. There is not a lot of options out there, especially given all of our many, many years of investments in Municode. I don't mind presenting some of those to the council if you'd like to see them. There's not a lot there, but I can get some prices to you. But for right now, considering the sunk cost we have in them, I'm hopeful that it will work out with them.
How is it handled? Are you handling that now in your office?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I bet you Tammy don't mind that a bit. All right, good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yes, sir.
All right. I know that it was a struggle codification's always been a struggle. Just always has been. So thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Council, any questions for Mr. Hooper?
I did notice a slight increase in travel. That doesn't include any Australia trips, does it?
It does. I am not going to Australia. Actually, that is. I found out this last year. I have not been taking advantage. I am, and all of you are, along with our membership in the municipal league. We're also members in NLC, the National League of Cities, and they do a training every year. I've never taken advantage of that. So that reflects me finally taking advantage of that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Mrs. Nobles?
Okay, on mine, the main increase that I figure there will be questions on are the capital expenditures. Just 2 months ago, I guess it was, I came and asked for a budget amendment to replace one of the code enforcement vehicles. We have done that. I have put in for next year's budget to replace the second one that we have. So that way we can make sure that nobody is stuck out in the city, because we are running off of a 2005 and I think a 2009 or 2008 vehicle in code enforcement. So that is what my main capital expenditure, that's what the capital expenditure is for. So other than that, just the minor increases of just the everyday working in the office. So if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them.
Council, any questions for Mr. Nobles?
I have one question. I noticed on inspections, there was a sharp decline in revenues generated out of inspections. Is that something you anticipate?
The projected budget for this year, we were very optimistic on it. As we all know, the decrease in building has kind of started to slow. So I did kind of project that to sustain that as well. So
Remember, too, we had the great hailstorm, which everybody got new roofs, so that should drop it some, too. Thank you, Mr. Nobles. Mr. Paul Ross?
Good evening. Slight increase from last year's budget. If you'll notice, there's more in for the street repairs and also the drainage, ditches and culverts, et cetera. Also the capital expenditures. We do have some aging equipment and vehicles in our fleet, such as a large excavator and our primary dump trucks, our larger ones, are probably a good time to be looking at one of those to get updated. Other than that, I'm open for any questions you have.
Yes. Roger, are you prepared to do traffic as well?
Sir,
Are you prepared to do the traffic one as well?
I can.
Okay. Let's go through this one first. Council, any questions on the street and infrastructure? Okay. If you can address the traffic one for us.
All right. Small decrease from last year's budget. And other than that, any questions you have?
Comments, questions, council?
So I had a question on the traffic signaling maintenance and improvements. Are we, the reason for that decrease, are we pretty much caught up on replacing with LEDs and our software for our signaling system?
I don't think we're completely caught up with that. I know there's
Excuse me, it's a process where we've got an outside consultant that's helping us with that. That was the traffic director at Conway for like 15 years. He's doing a great job doing an inventory right now, figuring out where we are, and kind of putting us on a plan that we've never had before, that we can address different areas and fix traffic in certain areas and show a reduction that we can relate to the taxpayers. So it's a working process. Yeah, there's always going to be traffic expenditures. We were just trying to plan out what they would be in '24, but it's not caught up. No, sir.
Okay. I mean, I'm probably not the only one that receives multiple complaints about traffic through town, and so I want to be prepared to tell them that we are still working on it, but when I saw the decreases, I was just going to ask the question.
People just won't move. They want to stay here, so, and they want to come here, so we have a little problem. It's a good problem. Everybody's property taxes, that's the bad part, but your house values are going through the roof, so we got a good thing here in Cabot. But we're going to get that traffic better, I promise. I think we have the right team now.
Any more comments, questions?
I'm sorry.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you all.
Last but certainly not least, Mayor Kincaid.
Okay, when you're looking at your sheet, you have the 2023 budget and the '24 budget. So you didn't see actual numbers. So like for travel, we actually spent $25,000 on travel, going to different conferences, going to ICSC, chasing some of these things you're seeing coming in the community, big items that you've seen. But we actually spent that in 23, and that's why we budgeted flat for 25. On salaries, they're up because you have an IT generalist that started at the end of 23, end of 22, and then an HR generalist that started in 23. So I added 2 more people to the payroll, Roger's assistant and Matthew's assistant. And other than that, I think everything's pretty flat.
Okay. And definitely last, Mrs. Yocum.
I as well have some increases due to a new employee. The custodian is under my office, so you will see that our salaries are increased, and also I have 2 new line items, gas and oil and vehicle expense. She's driving a car that was passed down from the PD. Typically, those cars are sold on an auction site. They bring less than $1,000, but she's driving it to the other locations that she's cleaning, and it's working out well, and those are my increases.
Any questions for the mayor or for Mrs. Yocum? Council, any questions on anything in the budget that we'd like to address before we ask for a motion?
Yeah, on page 6, under general government, line 70320, bank fees increased from $4,000 to $22,000 and some change. Is there a story there?
It's credit card processing fees. We changed from just a simple credit card processor to point of sales and in several locations, and those are the fees associated with that.
Okay.
Any other comments? Maggie, do you have any comments, questions?
No, sir, I'm good.
With that being said, I'll ask for a motion to send it to full council.
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Roll call, please, Ms. Tammy.
Spangler,
Yes.
Red,
Yes.
Cope,
Yes.
Passes 3-0. Mayor, that's all I got, sir.
Thank you, Chairman Red. As I stated before, any community input we'll do at the end of the work session. Next up, Police and Fire, Chairman James Reed.
Thank you, Mayor. We don't have anything on the agenda for tonight's session. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Chairman. Next up, Community Development Committee, Chairman Ed Long.
I don't have any reports tonight, but Ben and I have been in conversation about the yearly reports and everything, so we're looking forward to those.
Thank you, sir. Military Affairs Committee, Chairman Ron Waymack. Thank you, sir. General community input, now's the time if you'd like to address council on these items, please do so. Or a general item that you want to address for small business, you can go and come up here and do that now. If it's for an ordinance or something like that, we'll do it in the next meeting.
My name is Gabriela Garcia. I am a public information officer for the U.S. Small Business Administration, Office of Disaster Recovery and Resilience. Now, the U.S. Small Business Administration is offering federal low-interest loans to homeowners, renters, private nonprofits, and businesses of all sizes because of the storms that occurred on June 25th through the 26th of this year. We have established a disaster loan outreach center over at the Lonoke County Courthouse Annex, and we are there offering personalized one-on-one assistance to anyone who may have questions or who needs help with filling out the applications. We are here to help, and we really hope that you take advantage of the experts' knowledge that we have over at the center. Many may not know, but the SBA is actually the largest source of disaster recovery funding available in the form of affordable loans. And these SBA loans can fill the gap between what insurance may cover and the cost of recovery. So allow me to highlight a few important points. There is no fee to apply and no commitment to take the loan if you are approved. But if you submit your application before the deadline, you'll have those funds available as an option. Now, the deadlines are for physical damage. It's going to be January 16th. And we have economic injury disaster loans. That deadline is August 19th. The interest rates are as low as 2.5 for homeowners and renters, 2.375 for private nonprofits, and 4% for small businesses. The loan terms can go up to 30 years, and there are no payments and no interest accrual for the first 12 months from the date of disbursement. Now, businesses and private nonprofits can qualify for up to $2 million to repair or replace physical damage, and homeowners may borrow up to $500,000 to repair or replace the destroyed real estate. And homeowners and renters may borrow up to $100,000 to repair or replace personal property, including up to one vehicle. As I mentioned, we also offer economic injury disaster loans, which are for businesses and private nonprofits that maybe they didn't have physical damage, but they suffered economic distress due to the storms. I'd be happy to answer any questions, but I do want to drive the point of visiting us over at the Disaster Loan Outreach Center. Again, we have people there ready to help, and everyone's circumstances are going to be different and unique, and we can tailor that support to help the individuals and the businesses in the community.
Did you say you'll be at the courthouse?
Yes, the county courthouse annex, so across the street from the courthouse.
Okay, I got you. And do you have all this written down?
Yes, yeah. I've also left my business cards. I have a few flyers that I can provide. And we are open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m.
If you leave us a flyer, we'll put it on our Facebook. And if you would talk to that man on the end, he's with the Leader newspaper. I'm sure he'll print something for you.
Oh, he's been great. They've already sent it out for us. Oh. Yeah. They're on it.
Jeffrey's the man.
We're here because of him. But thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Seeing none, can I motion to adjourn the work session?
So move.
Second.
Second.
I got a motion from Ed, a second from Stephen to adjourn the work session. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Passed unanimously, ends at 7:19. Let's take a 5-minute break. Okay, then we'll be back for a council meeting. Okay, if everybody wants to take their seat, we're about to begin the city council meeting. It's 7:27. I'm going to call the meeting to order. And if you'd stand with me, we're going to start with an opening prayer by Councilman Stephen Redd, and then followed up with a pledge of allegiance by Councilman James Reed.
Will you bow your heads with me, please? Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for this evening, dear Lord. We thank you so much for our community. Dear Lord, we thank you for this large crowd at our council meeting. Dear Lord, we ask you to be with us tonight to make the right decisions for this city, for the citizens, dear Lord, to make us a better city. Dear Lord, we ask you to forgive us when we fail you. Dear Lord, we ask forgiveness for our sins. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Will you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Thank you. You may be seated. Tammy, can you give us a roll call, please?
Long,
Here.
Spangler,
Here.
Red,
Here.
Hillenberg.
Here.
Coe.
Here.
Reed,
Here.
Weber,
Here.
Waymack.
All members are present. Next item, approval of minutes, the November 20th, 23 minutes, please.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes of 2023,
Second.
November.
I've got a motion from Brandon, a second from Stephen, to approve the November 20th, 23 minutes. Any corrections, changes, discussion? See none, all in favor, roll call vote, please, Tammy.
Long,
Yes.
Spangler,
Yes.
Red,
Yes.
Hillenberg.
Yes.
Coe.
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Waymack.
Yes.
Passes 8-0. Next item is to read ordinances and resolutions by title only.
Make a motion that we read ordinances and resolutions by title only.
Second.
Got a motion from James, a second from Matt Weber to read ordinances and resolutions by title only. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, roll call vote, please, Tammy.
Long,
Yes.
Spangler,
Yes.
Red,
Yes.
Hillenberg.
Yes.
Coe.
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Waymack.
Yes.
Passes 8-0. First item of business is city council new business. Item A is ordinance number 36 of 2023. Please, Tammy.
Number 36 of 2023, an ordinance to amend Section 4.6 of the Unified Development Code of the Code of Cabot, declaring an emergency and for other purposes. First reading.
Mayor, I make a motion we suspend the second and third reading of ordinance 36 of 2023.
I'll second.
I got a motion by Ed, a second by James, to suspend the second and third reading of ordinance number 36 of 2023. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, roll call vote, please, Tammy.
Waymack,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
Spangler,
Yes.
Red,
Yes.
Hillenberg,
Yes.
Coe.
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Passes 8-0.
Mayor, for health, safety, and welfare of the community, I make a motion that we adopt ordinance 36 of 2023.
Second.
I got a motion by Ed, a second by Brandon, to adopt ordinance number 36 of 2023 for public health and safety. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, roll call vote, please, Tammy.
Waymack,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
Spangler,
Yes.
Red,
Yes.
Hillenberg,
Yes.
Coe.
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Passes 8-0.
Mayor, for the same reason, I make a motion we attach the emergency clause of ordinance 36 of 2023.
I'll second.
Got a motion from Ed, a second from James, to adopt the emergency clause on ordinance number 36 of 2023 for public health and safety. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, roll call vote, please, Tammy.
Waymack,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
Spangler,
Yes.
Red,
Yes.
Hillenberg,
Yes.
Coe.
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Passes 8-0. Next item, ordinance number 37 of 2023. Please, Tammy.
Number 37 of 2023, an ordinance to amend Section 5.4.2 of the Unified Development Code of the Code of Cabot, declaring an emergency and for other purposes. First reading.
Mayor, make a motion that we suspend second and third reading of ordinance 37, 2023.
I'll second that.
I got a motion from Ed, a second from James to suspend the second and third readings of ordinance number 37 of 2023. Any discussions, council? Seeing none, all in favor, roll call vote, please, Tammy.
Long,
Yes.
Spangler,
Yes.
Red,
Yes.
Hillenberg,
Yes.
Coe,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Waymack.
Yes.
Passes 8-0.
I'll make a motion that we adopt ordinance number 37 of 2023.
Second.
Got a motion by James, a second by Ed to adopt ordinance number 37 of 2023. Any discussions by council? Any by the audience? Seeing none, all in favor, roll call vote, please, Tammy.
Long,
Yes.
Spangler,
Yes.
Red,
Yes.
Hillenberg,
Yes.
Coe,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Waymack.
Yes.
Passes 8-0.
Mayor, for the same reasons as stated on ordinance number 36, I'll make a motion that we attach the emergency clause.
Second.
I got a motion from Ed, a second by Brandon to adopt the emergency clause for ordinance number 37 of 2023 for public health and safety. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, roll call vote, please, Tammy.
Long,
Yes.
Spangler,
Yes.
Red,
Yes.
Hillenberg,
Yes.
Coe,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Waymack.
Yes.
Passes 8-0. Our next item is ordinance number 38 of 2023. Please, Tammy.
Number 38 of 2023, an ordinance to rezone 801 through 906 Eagle Street, City of Cabot, Lonoke County, Arkansas, from R-4 single family to R-4M medium density multifamily, amending the land use plan and for other purposes. First reading.
Mayor, I would like to waive or suspend the second and third reading of this ordinance.
Second.
I got a motion from Matt, a second from Stephen to suspend the second and third readings of ordinance number 38 of 2023. Any discussions, council? Seeing none, all in favor, roll call vote, please, Tammy.
Spangler,
Yes.
Red,
Yes.
Hillenberg,
No.
Coe,
No.
Reed,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Passes 6-2.
I need to call Waymack and Long, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I thought you had all of them. My apologies.
Waymack, Long,
Yes.
Sorry, guys. I have George W. Bush fuzzy math over here. 6-2. Okay. Still 6-2. Any other action, council?
Now, before there is a rush on this body, for the sake of taking any action on this, we have to make a motion to approve the ordinance.
We have to vote on the question.
We have to vote on the question. Sorry.
Which is why we waive the second and third readings.
I make a motion that we approve ordinance 38, 2023.
And by the same token, before we can open it for discussion, there has to be a second on that motion. I second it.
We got a motion from Matt, a second from Ed to approve ordinance number 38 of 2023. I know some of you here today, we're going to move to discussion. So what I ask is if you're for ordinance number 38 of 2023, please line up over here. If you're against ordinance number 38 of 2023 and you want to speak, please line up over here. This way we can do it in an orderly fashion. I'll hear one for, then one against. Due to time constraints, I'm going to limit each person to 3 minutes. If that's okay with everybody, is that okay with disapprovals? 3 minutes? Okay. When you come up, state your name and tell us if you live in Cabot. And we will begin by, is there anyone on the approval side? Go ahead, sir. And this is for ordinance number 38 of 2023. Go ahead.
Yes, sir, Mayor and council members. Council Memberman Reed, I'm trying to help you do what you wanted to do just 5 minutes ago. Get 48 permits issued to help the city of Cabot increase their tax base. I came before the council 2 years ago. I listened to the neighborhood. I changed everything. I've lost money. I'm $140,000 in the hole, and I can't get a bank to finance single-family homes, which y'all graciously approved at the last time 2 years ago. So I've sat on the land. I've worked with banks trying to get an approval to build 20 single-family homes. Zero luck. I've got 6 banks lined up ready to give me the check to build multifamily housing. I'm not asking for anything other than what's already on the current street. The street is lined with duplexes and apartments. I'm going for the lightest amount of that to just make it work so I can use the land. And I'm more than open to the city and the neighbors. I want to be a good neighbor. That's all I have to say.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Disapproval? Or against the item? I'm sorry, against the item?
Hello, my name is Justin Smith. Thank you all for your service, by the way, and letting us come up here. I only have 3 minutes, so I'll make it quick. I moved at the end of Schuyler Cove. I built a house there 7 years ago. When we built the house, there was this nice open area with trees, and moving and building there, we thought, eventually, that's probably going to be inhabited by single-family homes or something. That's okay. Never did I imagine that it would be knocked down. Like, my backyard is just straight view of no trees, no privacy, zero, any privacy at all. My 3 main concerns are safety. Right now I live right beside the drainage ditch that's right beside this property. People frequent from those apartment complexes through our neighborhood. They walk along my property line. Last year we had multiple car break-ins from just the traffic that comes through there from that area being overpopulated. Also, the drainage ditch itself brings me some concern because when it rains a lot, the water comes up really high onto my property already. When I was a kid, I lived in a home where they built a new subdivision next to my subdivision, and it flooded our house 4 times. And poor water management makes me concerned about that because it's already giving up on my fence. And third, you talked about our property value rising in the city. That's a great thing. I know a lot of people in our community has been here for longer than me, for 7 years, and I'd hate for that to just be thrown away for those people that are going to be looking at that. When someone comes to see my home, they're going to look and they're going to go, I don't want to buy this house, And I don't think that's fair to the community. I don't think it's fair to the neighbors. I think it'd be irresponsible and inconsiderate of the council to approve this motion. I'm perfectly fine with single-family homes, and there's plenty of other places in Cabot outside for us to build these apartments. So thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Justin. Next.
Good evening, council. We're Justin's neighbors. We live on 31 Schuyler Cove, and we've watched them decimate the forest behind us. Every time it rains, it floods. So now there's nothing left to absorb the water. The trees are gone. Downstream from us, I don't know what's going on. Property value, if it's multifamily, we don't know if it's going to be HUD or what kind of people are going to move in there. Single family is fine. We are totally against multifamily apartment buildings going in there.
My concern is the safety also. I mean, we don't have small children, but I do have a 90-year-old mother that I take care of. And being in that neighborhood, I used to live in Crestwood, moved away from Crestwood, and I have moved back for that very reason, is that we love that neighborhood. And it's a beautiful neighborhood, but by putting in these duplexes behind us, I am concerned about the much traffic. Are they going to fence it so that they cannot come into the neighborhood? Because there is only one way in our neighborhood and out of our neighborhood, and there is only one way in Eagle Street and to turn around and come back out. It's very, very cramped now. We watch the garbage truck come in and have to back out because they can't turn around right now. And so that does concern me, the amount of noise, the traffic that's going to be in there, and I'm all for Cabot growing too. Let me tell you, it's grown a lot since I've been here. And it's like I said, I do not want our neighborhood's value to come down. It's a beautiful neighborhood, and we bought back purposely because of that. So I appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. Could you state y'all's name for the record?
Oh, I'm Patty Patron Fleeflet, and this is Greg Fleeflet.
Greg Fleeflet.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We just need it for the record. Thank you so much. Next.
Mr. Mayor, council members, good afternoon, good evening. I moved here 2 years ago, so I'm a relatively new Cabot resident. I came down here from Rogers, Arkansas, which I'm sure most of you know is a fast-growing city. I came from a neighborhood, Champions Estates. Maybe you've heard of it. It's adjacent to Pinnacle, where every year they have the LPGA tournaments. It's the gem of Rogers over there. Unfortunately, what's happening, or what may be happening, depending on your vote here, could turn our neighborhood pretty much as it did to mine up in Rogers for the reason why I left. I was the treasurer there of the HOA, so I had my thumb on the pulse of that neighborhood. And what eventually ended up happening is that individual owners of single-family homes became renters. And all of a sudden, we started having problems with vehicles on the road. Everything just started falling apart, and I don't have enough time to go into all the details. Safety went down quite a bit, and that's a big concern I have here. Now, I picked Cabot because Cabot has a similar footprint that Rogers had 20 years ago. It's up and coming, low crime, beautiful, and has a lot of potential if you members make all the right moves. Now, putting single-family homes in that property is a good idea. Multifamily and apartments is a bad idea. The only thing that separates our beautiful neighborhood, as was described here, I have 2 lots on Schuyler Cove. It's a wonderful, peaceful neighborhood. From time to time, we do get an individual who jumps the fence from that area over there that he wants to build in that doesn't belong in our neighborhood, and we get a little concerned about our vehicles because some of us park them outside. Well, unfortunately, the only thing that divides our neighborhood, our peaceful, high property tax neighborhood, from that lot over there is 3/4 inch of cedar fencing that needs to be replaced. And so what would happen is once you get around 50 low-income residents or higher, statistically shows that crime will increase. You can Google it. I did before I came here. So I am opposed to voting for putting multi-family residents. I sympathize with the landowner. I would say go back to the banks. Keep trying. Don't let the banks make your decision for you. Single family is the way to go. It's so unfortunate they chopped all the trees down. From my property now, it's ugly. It used to be beautiful, and that's why I moved there. Peaceful, safe, and beautiful. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, City Council. Good evening, Mayor. Thank you for letting me speak. I don't live in Schuyler Cove. I live in the same subdivision, just one street over. So my neighbors are some of you probably, and at 138 Birchwood Circle. Jackson Mobbs. I've been a resident for about 23 years. I moved here in 2000 from Mississippi. And I've been through many of these meetings, I guess, because of the development you're trying to make, and it comes to the same thing, you know, the property values that we already have, we already put in our investment. I paid off my house 2 years ago, so my investment's already there, and whatever happens to the people in Schuyler Cove happens to me and everybody else in our subdivision because of the comps. So I'm with them. I don't really want to see that development there, because it's just going to affect and lower our property values. You lose some privacy, you already lost some trees. We've already had a lot of break-ins, a lot more than I've ever seen in probably the past 3 years over the course of the last 20 years. And so it just bothers me that that could be a permanent thing happening in our neighborhood. And so I'm just with the rest of the folks. I do sympathize with the owner, but I prefer to have single-family dwellings over the multifamily dwellings. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I'm Tim Brantley. I live in the neighborhood right next to where they're going to build these apartments if it's approved. I just wondered if there was any study or anything done about the existing erosion and how this is going to affect drainage and water and all of that, or has it just been a blanket request to build a house there?
Let me defer to Laura Nobles with planning. Is there a drainage study present that was given to Planning Commission? It's strictly a rezone, so that would be in your plat or your site plan and all that stuff, so we haven't seen that yet. No,
so
sir.
there's no consideration being given so far.
Correct.
To how it's going to affect the existing homes in the area. I don't see how anybody could prove that until that study was done. And then also it'll affect the property values if the drainage is worse. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
My name's Christy Crappy White, and I too live in the Crestwood neighborhood. 6 years ago, my husband was recruited by UAMS, and sight unseen from Portland, I had to figure out a new place to live. I chose here. Our son goes to school here. We chose the house in the Crestwood Estates because it is such a safe area. Right now, a bunch of our neighborhood is already dealing with the trees and everything that have been removed due to the new changes going in to accommodate the I-67. That is along the backside. A bunch of the houses in our neighborhood, including mine, have lost quite a bit of value. Not gone up, gone down considerably. If we have more safety issues, if we have neighbors who are getting their houses flooded, if we have all of the additional possible trash that may be left out, if we have additional issues with people not being able to get in the certain utilities, like I know when we went down in June, getting utility trucks in to replace some of the SNAP power lines was just about a nightmare because our streets are so small already. Adding multiple units to this area, to me, is an extremely bad idea. This isn't something that our neighborhood can handle and still maintain the property values. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hey, good evening, City Council and Mayor. Eric Moxley. I happen to live in Crestwood Cove, which is a property that backs up to where the 24-unit apartment building would be. Came here about 2 years ago, I think it was, maybe 18 months ago. It was approved by the council for single family then, and I would have thought it would have continued that way because that was the wishes of the council. I see it's up for rezoning again. I think there's a lot of different issues that can go with this. Drainage has already been discussed. I think we got safety concerns, that's been mentioned. Also, I'm curious how you're going to handle all the traffic, noise. I mean, there is a ton of things that go into cramming this many people in such a small area. And especially when you've got drainage problems. We've already dealt with that. I'm very appreciative of what the city did adjacent to my house and the creek that runs over there, Hudson Branch. So we've already had to do some pretty significant work there to make sure the erosion doesn't continue. And just personally, I agree with everything that everyone has said. And if it's okay, Mayor, could I ask everybody to stand that's against this, that even the ones that didn't want to speak, is it okay for them to?
Sure.
Could you just stand if you're against this, please? Just want to thank everyone for showing up. It's a significant, time commitment in the evening, and obviously this is a big issue to everyone that's here tonight. It's nothing against the landowner, Sam. It's nothing against you at all. It's just we're trying to protect our property, our values.
Kind enough to give to me. Number one, the retention pond. To me, that's a danger issue for all the young children. I don't know why we need a retention pond on the property. Can you answer that for us? Sure. Okay.
We were asked to provide one to catch the runoff water.
So
We're willing
you
to
already know there's going to be runoff water that's too excessive for the subdivision.
As the mayor had spoken earlier, and so did Mrs. Noble, the final process is we go before the Planning Commission again, and we present all of those studies that resolve the issues. The water's an issue that's already there. With us doing this, it would help to address the issue. I understand what you're saying completely. That's why we would address it in those ways.
Okay.
Right.
Also, are these rentals or are these for sale?
Do y'all want me to keep answering this question?
I'm okay with that as long as it's cordial.
Sure.
We seem like we're being cordial here,
Sure.
so.
Yeah, all of these right here, that was one of my questions is what's the definition of a low-income rental? These are $1,550 a month. There's no low rentals in here. These are very high rentals. And these are two bedroom, two baths, which between 1,000 and 1,200. This is not a HUD development.
I understand that.
This is a very expensive, $1,550. That's a very good rent, I would think, for that area. And, another question that they keep asking is the security. Right now, just to the northeast corner, there's a trailer park. There's nothing here to stop them from walking across. And if we put a subdivision like this, and you have people living here, and the entire property's fenced, that's going to stop all the traffic from the apartments and the trailers.
That was going to be another question I had. Was it going to be fenced?
Oh, yeah, heck yeah. And then we would do whatever the city's requiring. There also discussions of putting buffer zones of trees along the perimeter. I'm not opposed to trying to appease the people. The last council meeting, and some of y'all, I recognize you, the city council didn't change their decision. I changed my decision, and I said, if this is this much opposition, and you don't want it in your backyard, why would I want it in mine? So I changed. I dropped my whole plan and went back to the drawing board and did single-family homes. I just surrendered my plan to appease the people of the neighborhood.
Okay.
And the same is here true. It's like I said earlier, I'm here to listen. I want to be a good neighbor. That's any other questions,
Okay.
I'm happy to answer.
All right. If you'd sit back down, do you have anything else to add?
No, the retention pond scares us because of the drainage issues we've had for the last,
Yes, sir.
I'll be there 30 years in September.
Okay. So
Trailer park,
you don't
trailer-
approve for this project, correct?
Pardon me?
You're for disapproval?
Correct.
Okay.
I disapprove, yes.
Okay.
And, I mean, we've had other issues that
Yes, sir.
I've been here for before and been to Laura's office before.
Yes, sir.
So, yes, I'm against it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Moxley.
I'd just like to add one more thing. There is a 24-unit apartment complex that is being filed for multifamily that would be right up against my fence. And right now, That particular area has 2 dwellings on it, so it's not lined with duplexes. So I would just, ask for that consideration as well. I know that's not been discussed, but that's certainly a huge concern for me. I have a special needs daughter that lives with us, and her safety is definitely my concern. So that would be right next to my fence.
Okay.
So, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I've already been here, but may I speak again?
Go ahead. You only use like
Tim Brantley, if you
you
didn't
only use
remember
like
the name.
45 seconds. I'll give you another 2 minutes.
I just heard the comment that he wants to be a good neighbor. Does he live in that neighborhood?
I don't know where he lives, sir.
I don't either, but I don't see him living in that neighborhood. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yes, sir. Any other for or against this project? Seeing none, I'm going to turn over to the council. Council, y'all have anything to add?
In the interest of fairness, can we, if the property owner is interested, could we get a rebuttal to everything that's been said? I feel like there was 1 for and like 12 against. I wanted to give them an opportunity to rebut their points. If you're interested, is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
If you've got a specific question, sir, I'd be happy to answer it.
No, I just wanted to, they said their piece. I wanted to see if you had anything else to rebut what they said.
If I'm hearing things correctly, everyone here is for the thing that's already approved. If I build single-family homes, everyone here is in approval. I think why would I want to oppose these people? I don't want the trouble when I try to do the construction project. So, it's the same statement I said from the very beginning. I'm very pro-neighborhood. I live in a neighborhood. I have 4 children. I'm not going to sit here and oppose these people. I'm going to do what they want. I said this the last time I came before the city council. I know you remember that.
Mm-hmm.
This fine gentleman right over here, I know he was there. I remember him. Yeah. So, I don't want to cause the ruckus.
Yes, sir.
I am very thankful I'm so popular. I appreciate y'all. Yes, sir. I'm from North Little Rock, Arkansas. Yeah. I've lived in 59 foreign countries, compliments of the Air Force. So I've actually lived in this area before. So you're welcome. Any other comments or?
Council, do you have anything you'd like to ask? Seeing none, thank you, sir.
Okay.
Seeing no other comments from council, we're going to have a roll call vote on ordinance number 38 of 2023. If you're for approval, say yes. If you're not, say no. Tammy, roll call vote, please.
Spangler,
No.
Red,
No.
Hillenberg,
No.
Coe,
No.
Reed,
Yes.
Weber. I'm sorry.
No.
Thank you. Waymack, Long,
No.
Fails 1-7. Next item, we're going to open up a public hearing. Is that how you want it done, Ben? It is 8:01. We'll now call the public hearing open on resolution number 65 of 2023. If you see in your packet, this is for the special use permit for lot 15 of Gateway Commercial. So I'm asking is there anyone for or against this special use permit that you'd like to talk to council or the mayor for the record? Yes, sir.
Basically, I think we've worked with the council to come up with this resolution that accommodates our needs, but also protects the city. If there's any questions you may have, I'll be glad to answer them.
Anyone have any questions for Tim?
We appreciate your willingness to work with us. Thanks.
Thank you, Tim. Anyone else for or against resolution 65 of 2023? Seeing none, we're going to close the public hearing at 8:02. And now we will move to item E. Tammy, please.
Resolution 65 of 2023, a resolution approving the issuance of a special use permit for Lot 15, Gateway Commercial, City of Cabot, and for other purposes.
Mayor, I make a motion that we approve Resolution 65 of 2023.
I'll second.
I got a motion from Ed, a second from Maggie, to approve resolution number 65 of 2023. Any discussion? Seeing none. Any from the audience? No more? Okay. Seeing none, all in favor, roll call, please. Tammy?
Red,
Yes.
Hillenberg,
Yes.
Coe,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Waymack,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
Spangler.
Yes.
Passes 8-0. You're welcome. Next is resolution number 66 of 2023. Please, Tammy.
Number 66 of 2023, a resolution to adopt the annual operating budget for calendar year 2024 and for other purposes.
I'll make a motion, we adopt resolution 66 of 2023.
Second.
Got a motion from Stephen, a second from James, to adopt resolution number 66 of 2023. Any discussion by council? Any by the audience? Where'd all the audience go? Seeing none, all in favor, roll call vote, please, Tammy.
Spangler.
Yes.
Red,
Yes.
Hillenberg,
Yes.
Coe,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Waymack,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
Passes 8-0. Next item, resolution number 67 of 2023. Please, Tammy.
Number 67 of 2023, a resolution approving the appointment of Chad Morrow to the Cabot Parks and Recreation Commission and for other purposes.
Make a motion, we approve resolution 67 of 2023.
Second.
I got a motion by Matt, a second by Maggie, to adopt resolution number 67 of 2023. Any discussion by council? Any by the audience? Seeing none, all in favor, roll call vote, please, Tammy.
Long,
Yes.
Spangler,
Yes.
Red,
Yes.
Hillenberg,
Yes.
Coe,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Waymack.
Yes.
Passes 8-0. Now we
Mayor,
move-
on
Yes,
this
sir.
next item, we've already disposed of it, so I'd like to make a motion to permanently remove it from our agenda, please.
Okay. So now we're moving to the old business. Item A is ordinance number 31. I have a motion on the floor from Ed to permanently remove this item from the agenda.
Second.
Second.
I got a second from Stephen. Any discussion? Any from the audience? Seeing none, all in favor, roll call vote, please, Tammy.
Hillenberg,
Yes.
Coe,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Waymack,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
Spangler,
Yes.
Red.
Yes.
Passes 8-0. Next item is ordinance number 33 of 2023. Please, Tammy.
Number 33 of 2023, an ordinance to rezone part of Lot 1, McClellan Storage Edition, City of Cabot, Lone Oak County, Arkansas, from C-2 to I-1, amending the land use plan and for other purposes. Third reading.
Mayor, I make a motion we adopt ordinance number 33 of 2023.
Second.
Got a motion from Ed, a second from Matt, to adopt ordinance number 33 of 2023. Any discussion by council? Any by the audience?
I just want to add
Go ahead,
one
sir.
thing on this. Mayor, this looks like the same thing that we just disposed of with Tim's, and in a way it is. However, this project, a large portion of this project was already done and completed.
Yes,
This
sir.
is just an extension on the same footprint that they've got out there. So that's the difference. Even though it is same, it's still different.
Yes, sir.
And this backs up to the commercial center. out
Tammy, could you let the record show that, please?
Yes.
Okay. It's on the record, Ed. You're welcome. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, roll call vote, please. Tammy.
Coe,
Yes.
Reed,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Waymack,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
Spangler,
Yes.
Red,
Yes.
Hillenberg.
Yes.
Passes 8-0. No other action on that one? Okay. Next item, ordinance number 34 of 2023. Please, Tammy.
Number 34 of 2023, an ordinance to amend Section 2-579 of the Code of Cabot, declaring an emergency and for other purposes. Third reading.
Mayor,
I make a motion that we amend this to have a cap of 35,000.
Second.
I got a motion to amend ordinance number 34 of 23 to have a cap of 35,000 by Brandon Hillenberg and a second by Ron Waymack. Any discussion?
You can approve $35,000 change within your office, can't you?
Not on a change order as it currently law states, I can't.
Okay.
But on just a purchase, it can be less than 35,000. Yes, sir. So that's where the confusion is. So doing this puts it up to the purchase of state law, but there is a emergency order by the state up to 50,000. It's the only thing that's different. Is that correct, Ben? I believe it is.
Yes,
So I'm
sir,
not-
that is.
Okay.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I was looking to make an amendment also, but
Okay.
he kind of got out.
We have one for 35 to amend ordinance 34 of 23 for a max of 35,000. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, roll call vote, please, Tammy.
Reed,
No.
Weber,
Yes.
Waymack, Long,
Yes.
Spangler,
Yes.
Red,
Yes.
Hillenberg,
Yes.
Coat.
Yes.
Passes 6-2. Now that we amended it, now we vote on the ordinance, right? Can I get a motion to do that?
Make a motion that we approve ordinance 34 of 2023 as amended.
Second.
I got a motion on the floor from Ed, a second from Stephen, to approve ordinance number 34 of 2023 as amended. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, roll call vote, please, Tammy.
Reed,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Waymack, Long,
Yes.
Spangler,
Yes.
Red,
Yes.
Hillenberg,
Yes.
Coat.
Yes.
Passes 8-0. It states on here declaring an emergency, Ben, so do we still need to adopt the emergency clause, or?
That's up to council. Usually on code changes, we do just so there's consistent enforcement.
Okay. Any action by council for adoption of emergency clause?
I make a motion that we adopt the emergency clause.
Second.
I got a motion by Brandon, a second by Ed, to adopt the emergency clause for ordinance number 34 of 2023. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, roll call vote, please, Tammy.
Reed,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Waymack,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
Spangler,
Yes.
Red,
Yes.
Hillenberg,
Yes.
Coat.
Yes.
Passes 8-0. Next item is,
Mayor.
Yes.
I'd like to recuse myself, if I may, please.
Yes, sir. Let the record show Stephen Red is recusing himself and leaving the room at 8:11 PM for ordinance number 35 of 2023. So Tammy, if you would read us that, please.
Number 35 of 2023, an ordinance acknowledging that a city official plans to do business with the Cabot Parks and Recreation Commission, specifically Stephen Red and his company, permitting said business to the extent necessary and for other purposes. Second reading.
No other action on that.
Thank you, sir. Any other old business, council? Seeing none, community input for those that are left. Would anyone like to approach the mayor and the council?
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. Wanted to remind you that this Friday, we have a really exciting event coming to the city of Cabot. KATV will be doing a on-air, Channel 7 will be doing an on-air segment for RTAM. This was presented by the A&P Commission, and it's an hour-long segment with a lot of pre-recorded that talks about our Parks and Rec, our economic development, our schools, and everything that really just highlights. And it leads into all the festivities that we have on Saturday. So I'll cue that up for you, sir.
And on Saturday, there's the annual Christmas parade. Our own Matt Weber is going to be Santa in the parade, led by his red reindeer, Stephen Red. No? Okay.
I made a phone call.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Okay.
Santa's coming.
Santa's coming. I'm sorry. Santa's coming. All right, I got you. And then after the parade, we will have our gathering. It'll be free food, hot dogs, cocoa, s'mores, fire pits, free pictures with Santa, candy canes, kind of the works, barring it doesn't rain. So we're going to call the event, whether it's on or off, by noon on Friday. So we will let everyone in Facebook land know by noon on Friday if it's a go. So please mark your calendars. I hope you come. I know a lot of you in this room do come and help out and enjoy it. So that's all I have. Anyone else have anything to add? Chief?
I just wanted to say on behalf of all of our firefighters here, I just want to thank you publicly for being so supportive of us, not only tonight, but just throughout the year, and just wanted to thank you on their behalf.
Thank you, Chief. And I also want to say that the firemen, policemen, street department, other city employees, and my wife put up the Christmas tree and decorations, and, you know, the city looks so pretty. We just need more money to make it look prettier. The city is getting so big. I would love to have the whole box of town, you know, down 89, up 321, down 367, have that whole area done up one day, but we'll get there. But I just appreciate all the support and all the support within the city that helped out getting us ready.
Quick question for Chief. Do you have a total on Fill the Boot yet?
Just a shade over 14,000.
Wow, that's good. Go ahead.
Mayor, City Council, I just wanted to say, I know a lot of times when y'all leave, you kind of go out the side door. But if you did not come in the front, I want you to, we talk about the giving and everything that we do. Over the weekend, we hosted Celebrate the Season, which is our annual give back event. Look at the amount of food donations that we have there. Everybody knows inflation and everything that's going up. Our staff will divide this food tomorrow, and I believe it's going to Cabot Public Schools on Wednesday. We also have a large cash donation that just people who just didn't know for whatever reason given that. But I just wanted to say thank you to the citizens of Cabot and our supporting areas. Just huge success, and it's probably our biggest event year to date or over since 2017. And just wanted to say thank you to everybody out there just because of the support. But instead of tonight, instead of taking that side door, go out the front door and just look at the amount of food that's there. Thank you.
Thank you, Travis. Anyone else? Council? Seeing none, can I get a motion?
Motion adjourn.
I got a motion from Stephen, a second by James. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Adjourned, 8:50.